Hi everyone, welcome to episode 5 of Road to Hagdom, whatever the name of the show is. Yes, we are talking about underrated groups this week. So look, you know what? We reckon, I don't know, someone tell us if Mercury's been a retrograde this week, because this has been the worst tech day I've ever had. People are disappearing out of the stream. We don't know what's going on. This show is going to be a freaking mess. But, Hello. Sorry, you can unmute yourselves.
Hello.
Hey. We've lost Lucy because she's in the UK and that's very far away. So look, I'm just going to introduce everyone to go around. We have Christine, one of our guests. We will talk to her in more detail later. Christine, one of our semi-regulars, a regular Sui, my spawn Alex, who is also regular, Trish, Jaime, who is a guest. He's from 6 K-pop superband show I did on Jubilee, so he's one of the K-pop fans from that show. Swenson from Malaysia, and Dave Diddy from Report Card Podcast, or Report Card Reactions now. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. Right, firstly, what has got everyone? What's happened this week in K-pop? Has there been any there's been any comebacks? I'm so far behind. Anything exciting happened this week?
A lot has happened. Lucy just joined.
And Lucy, hang on. Lucy's here. Oh, she's here. We started Lucy, and he's Lucy. Yay! Okay, what's happened this week in K-pop? Someone tell me.
NCT Dream comeback photos.
Oh, really? Oh, that's right.
Anyone wow. NCT Dream? Yeah, like maybe just.
I haven't got to see it yet.
Raises hand in tiny.
I feel like they're children, so not many people here would maybe like them as much.
They're all children, and I love them all.
I'm 55, and I like them.
They're all babies.
Mm-hmm. Even the oldest.
Dream's not any different than anybody else.
Newies.
I'm excited about you and Harmony. You and Harmony's first comeback.
Oh, People and Harmony. I haven't reacted to any of this.
Harmony.
I'm so
twice is back with a Japanese record.
Oh yeah, Kura.
I didn't even listen to that.
Yeah,
actually, I haven't heard that either.
ITZY has been. It's pretty good.
ITZY has been teasing their comeback.
Look, as we do with every show, we are going to talk to our guests for a little bit and find out how they got into this whole mess that is K-pop. So first, Christine.
Well, my name's Christine. I'm 51, full on hag. I also go by Mom the K. So I first got into K-pop in 2017. My kids had been into K-pop for like a few years, but I had never given it a chance. I don't know why. I have no defense, but they basically got me to finally sit down and really listen to K-pop on November 19th, 2017, when BTS was on the AMAs. So I sat down, I watched that with them, and was pretty much instantly hooked. Like, instantly felt like, how have I ignored this for the last few years? And I'm totally in. And went down a rabbit hole, never climbed out. Don't throw me a rope. I don't want to be pulled out of this rabbit hole. I absolutely love it here. So that was, I did BTS for like a month and just dived in, learned everything I could about them and was obsessed. And then about a month later, just kind of wanted to explore out. My kids were already into other groups and I'm like, hey, what else should I check out? Which kind of ties into our topic today because my daughter was really into Ace. And she's like, oh, you've got to hear this group Ace. Oh my God, they're amazing. So I branched out, got into other K-pop and saw my first concert in June of 2018. We went to see Eric Nam, who is incredible and really got me into the whole small venue concerts, because small venue it just reminds me of being young and clubbing and seeing local groups. So again, that ties into the whole underrated group thing, because you're really not going to see small venue shows unless you are into underrated groups. So so that's my story.
Awesome. Okay, next we have Dame Diddy from. Now you've got. Tell me, is you're a Report Card podcast, but now you're a Report Card Reaction. So do you still have a podcast as well?
Yes, we still have a podcast, but the podcast pretty much we do album reviews pretty much for like hip hop and R&B and sometimes like pop music. So we kind of just separated the two so we can make it easier for people to find exactly what they were looking for from us.
Now, I think I am just going to interrupt here and say I remember how you got into K-pop, because I watched you reacting to Blackpink, talking about the Japanese talking about that.
I got murdered for a long time about that. But one time we didn't actually want to do reaction videos. You know, a couple people asked us to, so we just started doing them. And then somebody was like, "Hey, there's this group, Blackpink. Can you guys check them out?" And we were like, "Sure, why not? I'll listen to every genre of music. Why not?" And we fell in love with the record. We were like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" And then people send us BTS, and then we were like, "Okay, this is dope." And you know, Twice. People started showing us Twice, and I didn't really fall for it at first, but when we saw Fancy, it was over. It was over for me. And ever since then, pretty much just been hooked, watching pretty much everything that comes out. We even like checking out the smaller groups that a lot of people don't necessarily react to, but you know, that's pretty much how it started.
And now, which was your first K-pop concert? I think I saw a vlog about
Blackpink.
that. Oh,
Yeah,
Blackpink,
we went to the
right.
In Your Area concert, and like it was ridiculous. Like I've been to a lot of concerts, but it was just something different about a K-pop concert that you don't really get in any other genre of music. It's the roof just went nuts. I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. And how loud it is, the energy, it was amazing.
Hey, Jaime, how did you get into K-pop? How long have you been into K-pop? And yeah, what was your first concert you attended?
Hi guys, I'm Jaime. I'm in Oregon. I think, how did I get first into K-pop? Okay, it's really funny. There's this music app back in the day when I was in high school. It's one of those like, you know, like Guitar Hero, and you like click the little notes.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, it's a game on the app, and I remember one of the songs had Catalina by Orange Caramel, or it had, sorry, Magic Girl by Orange Caramel. And I was like, wow, this is really fun and like really catchy. So I looked up Magic Girl, and then I like stumbled across like Catalina. I'm like, wow, this is K-pop. Like, this is awesome. I just love how eccentric and like, I mean, it was kind of corny, but I loved it, right? I love cheese and corn. So so then I started looking more into it, and I was like, and then I got 21, 4 Minute, and then I started to realize that Orange Caramel is its own entity, and most K-pop is not like that. But then I started to fall in love. I started to listen to it, but honestly, not until maybe 2 years ago did I really start to like claim K-pop stan, you know, because I mean, you know, when your friends say, hey, you want to listen to music, and we're in the car or whatever, and I say, well, I only listen to K-pop, so this might be a problem. So yeah, that's all I listen to now. And I think this topic of underrated groups is like, I think a really important one, because there are really many talented groups outside the big three. Sadly, I've never been to a K-pop concert.
Oh, well, we got to hopefully when the borders open one day, they'll come back. They'll come back. Have you been going to any of the online concerts?
No, but yeah, I believe when the COVID is over, I am definitely going to a concert. I wanted to go to Cards when they came to America, but the thing is, a lot of K-pop groups don't go to the PNW. I don't know why. So they'll go to Vancouver, down to California, but they skip over Washington and Oregon.
Yeah, because my sister's in Seattle. I keep threatening to fly over to Seattle one day for groups, but hardly any groups go there either. So it's a bit sad.
They kept showing commercials.
We're going to be talking about underrated groups, but first, before we get to all your underrated groups, I thought we might have a bit of a chat about what makes a group underrated. I think we all probably have different definitions, because I had so many people contact me during the week and go, I don't know if these are underrated enough. Do these classes underrated? I'm like, look, it's whatever you think is underrated, but if you can justify why you think they're underrated, let me know. So, you know, do we think is underrated in Korea, like and famous internationally, or is it, I don't know, hasn't had enough album sales? Or, I mean, what do you think classes the group as being underrated?
To start with, I think it's really, really difficult to quantify a parameter in what defines underrated. So it can be a lot of stuff. Like in my case, I see a group as quote unquote underrated when they did not gain traction on the early years of their career. Like what happened to New East. So
Yeah.
I mean, they're relatively big right now, and they've got themselves their images and their music's well established out there, and that all happened within the past year or two. But for most of their career, I felt they've been the underdogs, and that's what made them in a way underrated. It might not be applicable as of 2021, but they've been through that phase of underrated. So I felt like success in a way, or like album sales, anything that can be put on a number is one of the ways for us to see if a group is well established or like borderline established or just straight out underrated.
Definition of underrated is not rated or valued highly enough. So I guess you just think your groups aren't getting enough love.
That's
it's
literally
like
the sentence
when you-
I had written down. I just basically wrote a group that doesn't get enough love. Like
Enough
they deserve
love.
more love.
Yeah.
Right. It's just somebody
Okay.
that you feel like nobody knows or nobody talks about, and you just want to.
So, but this
sure
is your
people know of
are
them.
you basing most of this on international fans? Or do you think?
I don't really know what's going on in Korea.
Yeah, that's
I guess because we're all
But these
over the
groups-
world.
There's some groups that they're more famous.
Right.
Like 80s. 80s is appreciated way more international. Like, no one said 80s because they're huge internationally, but they're really not appreciated. They're underrated in Korea.
Yes.
And Korea's where Korea is where
crazy.
they need to succeed in Korea. They need the brand sponsorships.
Absolutely.
They need wins, So, but I guess this is from our point of view, not Korean's point of view. So, all right. So,
Wait, another thing I want to say is we always talk about there's a difference between underrated and underappreciated, which I don't know if you guys have thought of that before, but there's some groups that are kind of bigger maybe, and they get the opportunities and they maybe even get some awards and whatever, but people they don't seem to be as appreciated as other groups. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I know.
Yep.
I do know what you mean. Yeah, it's
So
like
there's kind of a difference there a little bit.
almost they do well, but they're not. Their actual talent isn't appreciated. What they're doing is not. The level of what they're doing isn't actually perceived enough by people. I want to go around and just ask you all. And I've asked you beforehand. Tell us about your two underrated groups and that people should check out. And hopefully people watching this can actually start appreciating those groups. Christine.
All right. So the two underrated groups I'm going to talk about are Impact and Ace. So firstly, with Impact,
Reach.
I love Impact so much. They are the first underrated group that I just completely fell in love with. I knew about Ace before Impact because my daughter was a huge choice. She was constantly pushing Ace on me like, Mom, they're just amazing. You have to listen to them. But I saw Impact. I saw The Light. When The Light dropped in April of 2018, I was home doing housework that day. I came on in the background because I used to keep K-pop on just 24/7, no matter what I was doing. And it came on and I just instantly was riveted. Like, I was like, this is the best song I have heard yet in 2018. I texted my kids, they were in school. I'm like, when you get home today, you're going to hear the best song of 2018. And so I loved Impact. They're a 5-member group and they are on a label called Star Empire, which completely sucks. And part of the reason they are
Nearly every
underrated.
company.
Yeah, I mean, but so they are very strong vocally. I'm really into vocals. I'm a vocal. I usually stand vocalists. So they have 3 amazing vocalists, and they also write and produce a lot of their own music. Na Eung-jae is not just the maknae in the group, but he's also the producer-writer of many of their songs. He did their whole first album. They debuted with a song called Lollipop in 2016, which Lollipop is a full-on bop. It's not one of my favorite songs. I love it. But to me, for that kind of style, that upbeat, feel-good bop, I really like Tension Up better. Tension Up is like it's my jam. I put on and I instantly will be in a good mood. And then, of course, The Light is the other song I would tell people to check out because it's the one that hooked me. And I would say their vibe is very feel-good, very chill. Awesome personalities. They're hilarious. I've watched a lot of their reality series. And right now, I would say if they kind of have any recognition beyond their core fandom, it's because Jaya placed really high on The Unit, the reality show. He almost made it into UNB. He placed 11th. So a lot of people know about J-Up, but again, going back to Star Empire, they're kind of a shitty label. They really didn't capitalize on any of that recognition the way Aces did, because Ace also appeared on the unit and placed high enough to make it into UMB. Chan, the vocalist from Ace, made it into UMB, and they just, Impact needs to grow. Impact deserves more love. J-Up's in the military right now, and I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Hey, I discovered J-Up when I first got into K-Pop. Now look, K-pop. Now don't get this the wrong way. I googled hot Korean boy, and
I remember
this picture of
J-Up
in a tank top was the first picture that came up, and I went, "Who is this?" And
I'm surprised Wonho didn't come up.
He was just. I'm going to put that photo in here. Yeah, he was just, and we were actually, Alex and I got to see Impact when we went to Korea when they did Only You. We kept seeing them everywhere we went. We kept seeing them perform it, and it was like, oh wow, we actually
you every time.
We love them. Sorry, carry on.
So Impact's amazing, and like I said, you were asking why are they considered underrated? I really think it's because they have not had the proper management. They haven't had the proper support to really capitalize on their incredible talent. They just seem to fly under the radar all the time. Like I said, as opposed to Ace, which is still, I would still consider them underrated because they epitomize a group where the talent far outweighs the recognition. Like they're a 5-member group of all-rounders. They can sing, they can dance, they can rap, they have personality. They just are really strong on all fronts, yet they deserve to be as huge as all the big threes that we all know about, but yet they fly under the radar. But they've done an amazing job of self-promotion. Stan Twitter loves Ace. Like Byung Kwan is the prince of Stan Twitter, I say. Like just everybody loves him. And they had members that were in the unit. They had members in Mix 9. That's how I watched the unit because I was into Impact, and then I saw Ace and got into Mix 9 and watched Ace on Mix 9. So I've been. They debuted in 2017, I believe, with Cactus, which is a great song. But my favorite, and I'd say their whole vibe, Ace's whole vibe is like bangers only. Like every title track is a banger. But it's funny because the one title track outlier is my favorite, "Take Me Higher." It's just a feel good. I would say that cute concept. It's so adorable, and it's another one of those songs like Tension Up that I can put on when I'm in a bad mood, and I'm just going to be dancing around the room to Take Me Higher. But in general, I'd say all their comebacks are really hard hitting bangers. They're super talented, and why are they still underrated? I'm asking the group here, why are they still underrated?
They should be huge.
Yeah.
Like internationally, they're really
underrated.
Yeah, they've toured internationally already, and I don't know if they've actually had a concert in Korea yet. So I feel like that with a lot of groups, they tend to go overseas first, have concerts there, and then eventually they get popular in Korea. But
that's totally the case with Ace. They didn't even capitalizing on the unit. They toured right after Chan came back from UNB. They went on an international tour. They didn't even wait for a comeback. They just went out. We caught them in San Francisco. Then they came back with, I think it was Undercover. I'm not sure what they came back with, but they came back with Savage maybe. And then they toured again. Like they just knew how to keep drilling it and promoting and pushing.
They were the last group I saw in concert before, last year happened. And I kind of went at just sort of, I was like, I had just been to Atlanta for 2 concerts in a row. And I was like, I can't drive back up there again, but I did. And it was so worth it. And it's like, I hate standing only concerts because I'm old and my back hates me, but I stood for hours. I felt like I'd been dropped off a building the next day, but that concert was awesome.
The things we do for K-pop. Christy?
My 2 groups I'm going to do, one that I think, depending on people's criteria, possibly might not be underrated anymore, which is On and Off. And then I'm going to do an extremely underrated group, which is Mont. So first On and Off. Obviously, they've got their first win now, and I think Beautiful Beautiful's at like 16 million views, which is... But of course, yeah, as you all know, they've been around about 4 years, and for at least 3 of that, they were astonishingly underrated, considering, I'm sure you know, well, I don't know how well people know them, their discography was amazing. There were songs out like We Must Love and Why with gorgeous music videos, and I think We Must Love is still at just over 1 million views. You know, so
that's crazy.
Craziness.
That's
so,
ridiculous. That was one of our best songs of 2019.
It's spectacular. And of course, for those that don't know, On and Off, 7-member group debuting in 2017, and they lost a member about 2 years later, Lorne, and in about 2019. So they're 6 members now. So so what changed? And I think harking back to Christine talking about Daya getting some notice from a TV program, of course, was it Road to Kingdom last year? And I think we can all safely say it was. And of course, everyone fell in love with Wyatt and Nishan during that in particular because of their reactions. Do we all agree it was Road to Kingdom why they've really picked up a lot of...
They were adorable. Sure. They were adorable in Road to Kingdom. They were hilarious.
They were also on Mix 9. They had members that made the Mix 9 group, and anywhere they go, they're going to make an impact. But I think Road to Kingdom for sure.
Everyone, On and Off. Okay, so on to Mont, who's absolutely tiny. So I think I had a look at their last release about 6 months ago, which was Anti-Heroes. Got about 120,000 views. They're a 3-member group. I believe there's not much information in there once even if you sort of start trying to dig, but they appear to be relatively self-funded. They don't do music shows. They're not in Seoul. They hang out in the country. 2019, they debuted, and they don't have a huge discography. And when they do put out songs, they tend to put out a group song, and then the album then consists of a couple of solos of all 3 members. I really love a couple. It was not their most recent album. The previous one was lovely. Mainly, I think it was Moonlight, which was the solo by Bitseon that really drew my attention. It's an English song, and it's just a gorgeous little sort of piano ballad. I'm not sure what genre you would call that. But then also was the 3-member track called Shadow, which I sort of disregarded at first, but then really grew on me too. It was interesting. It took a good 5 listens, and then I really became quite obsessed with that. But also one of my other favourite tracks is September Hills by Narrachin. So it's a great song, sort of more ballad, and the music video is really beautiful.
Oh, see, I'll have to check them out because I've only seen Anti-Hero, and that doesn't sound like any of those songs. Sounds totally different to what you're describing.
Completely different, yeah. So obviously, the individual solos are completely different. So Narrachin sort of it's I don't know, pop ballad, I guess you called September Hills. Yeah, and Moonlight's English sort of piano-y ballad. Beautiful song. Interestingly, my daughter usually doesn't want to listen to any of my K-pop whatsoever, but she became obsessed with Moonlight and even learned it on her piano and would play it back to me.
Sue, tell us about I know you are such a big supporter of underrated groups because you are always shouting on Twitter about them. I know you were so stressed about only being allowed to say 2.
This is so unfair.
We're going to put a whole list in the description of all the other groups people wanted to highlight.
I was going to say, with everybody doing 2, we're covering a lot, so we're
covering
works.
A few.
Okay. Yeah. And I was going to say we did host a panel at KCON on underrated groups, so I feel like
awesome.
That was a couple years ago, so I've been kind of championing them ever since. But so they're my favorite, and it's like Christine said, it's a lot because there's good things about underrated. We want them to have love, but they're also good when they're small and you can go to the small venues and they give you more interaction. They respond to things. So there's good things about it too. So sometimes it's weird because you want them to have more love, but you also want to keep them kind of for yourself. You know what I mean?
That's how I feel with 18.
Be selfish. Yeah, you want to be selfish with them. It's kind of funny. Attention is one of my groups that I've been loving forever and ever, and they just struggle. I don't know what their deal is. But so they're a 10-member group. They debuted in 2015, so they're kind of debut age, like around Monsta X, 17, Icon. Those all debuted in 2015. They sent 2 members to Produce X that was in 2019, right? Yeah. So we thought that they were going to be like, get a lot of attention and come back to their group, and then everybody's going to love attention, and it was going to be perfect and wonderful. And they never came back to their group. And the company, Attention, is part of Top Media, which is a group or a company that's run by Andy from Shinhwa, which I found out later. And I'm like, oh, that should be cool. But I don't know what's going on with that company.
Have they not come back? Have they left the group, or they just
okay? Well, technically,
they're
still part of the. Yes, technically, they're still part of the group. They haven't left, but they have not come back to promote with the group in these 2 years.
That's so disruptive.
Which, it kind of defeated the purpose, I thought, because we thought that they would come back and it'd be great. But they're doing their solo stuff. So that's Usuk and Jinyuk, but I call them Ushin and Wei still. So they changed their stage names when they went solo. So they're doing solo stuff. And then also their leader, Jinhoo. I always get that. I knew I was going to say it wrong. Jinhoo,
They're not watching. They're not watching.
Oh, I know, but I still want to say it right.
What if they are?
Yeah. So he had issues last year. I'm not exactly sure what. They said health issues, and then all of a sudden he just up and disappeared and went to the military. Like bam, one day, but he was gone. Oh. And so right now they're promoting as 7 members, and they are still having comebacks and doing things, but they don't promote hardly at all, really. And I think it's one of those companies where the new shiny group is the one that gets attention. And so MCMD is in their company. So they're the ones that seems to get all the attention, and I love them with all my heart too. And Teen Top is in that company. And when Attention came around, then Teen Top kind of got dropped. So
they got dropped.
That's the struggle with that company. I do not know what their problem is, but anyway. So Suggestions, I fell in love with them with their So Dangerous comeback in 2016. But my favorite is Runner, because it just has the coolest beat. I don't know. You guys can talk about musical things really well, and I'm just like, it's cool. I love it. I don't know why.
That's all you have to do. You have to just love it. You know?
I don't know. I don't have descriptions for all of them. But they have ballads. They have cute ones. Their cute one is Tonight. That's the one we watched in late 2016, and we were like, okay, this group is ours. That was the song that we were like, okay, it's over. So they have all kinds. They have wonderful vocalists and rappers. Anyway, they're awesome all the way around. And we got to go see them in concert in a small venue, like Christine was talking about. It felt like we were just there with them. They just talked to us. Like they just sat on the edge of the stage and talked to us like we were sitting in their living room. It was so much fun.
Nice.
And I remember thinking, when I first saw them, these guys are every bit as good as BTS. And I know a lot of people will hate me for that.
No one here.
I mean, everything was still new to me. BTS was still new to me and everything. And I just remember thinking, why are these guys not getting as much attention as BTS? They're just as good as them. Their dancing is so good. And I remember that thought very clearly, like, why? And it's just continued all these many years. So, right. So my next group is really one that I don't think many people have heard of. It. That's Donkeys. And they debuted in 2019. They're a 5-member group. They only have one album. Yay! And they have one album called Donkey Town. And
I didn't know it was Donkeys. I thought it was Donkeys, and I was wondering. Okay, now I understand.
Donkeys. Yeah, hopefully I'm saying it right. And they have a lot of like single releases, but only the one album when I looked them up. And they're from like a teeny tiny company that I think just has them, which is probably why they're underrated. It mostly is just because they're small. They're just small, and they don't have the opportunities to get out there and do what everybody else does. But and I love them because they have a really unique sound. I don't know how to describe it. You guys need to go listen and tell me what it. Give it a name. I don't know. They just have a cool funky sound. Yeah, I don't know. We fell in love with them last year at the beginning of the year. Yeah, upbeat. Well, what's funny is I thought they were.
Did
like
they change concept?
Group. Yeah,
Did
they
they change concept
group.
recently? Yeah, I thought so.
They were a cutesy group, and last year they had their comeback called Beautiful.
This
and
one
they did a complete 180.
That's what I reacted to, and I was like,
yeah. And I was like, who are these guys? I can't even recognize them. It freaked me out.
Yeah.
But then I got used to it, and it was all good. But yeah. But Lupin was their comeback at the beginning of last year. Yeah. And that's not too cutesy either, but it's so, I don't know.
It's catchy.
It's so good. And they do little magic tricks. They have their canes that flip back and forth between canes and handkerchiefs. Everybody needs to go look that up and watch like either the performance or the dance practice, because you can really see the tricks they're doing on stage. It's so cool.
What song is that called?
That's called Lupin.
That's the song we should check out, Sui, Lupin.
That's the one I would say to look at first, yeah.
Okay.
But I love. They also have my other favorites are Fever, All I Need Is You.
Fever, check that one out.
Fever is so much fun, and then their B-side, like ballady song is called Complete Me, which I really love. It shows off their vocals a little more than the others.
Alex.
So one group is probably less underrated, quite a fair bit less underrated than the other, but I'm just talking about them because I think they're underrated for what I think they should be rated. So that's OneUs. Obviously, Road to Kingdom gained them a lot of popularity. So they debuted in 2019 with Valkyrie. I think Valkyrie was a really good debut because it's quite poppy. And then from then on, they continued with their sort of moon/light theme, which I really like. I like when K-pop groups have themes and sort of stories you can follow, even though I think most of their title tracks from then were all very different musical concepts. They all sort of followed the like moon, and then they went into the vampire sort of come back home. Vampire Monarchs, yeah. Then they sort of changed into that storyline, but it was still the moon theme. I just really think their comeback home stage should have gotten them like so much more popularity. The stage itself should have gotten more views. I think it was just breathtaking, and the instrumentation and the live stage that they performed and the graphics, it was all really great. And I just feel like compared to a lot of other acts on the show, I feel like they didn't get as much recognition, if that makes sense. But I think they're still doing really well, especially internationally. They've gone to Japan and the US and they've had concerts there. So yeah, and songs I think people should check out. Obviously, I feel like most people would have seen their title tracks, but their album Fly With Us is a no skip. I think most of their albums, I feel like I only have one or two songs I'd skip, and it's mainly because I'm not in the mood for that right now, but I still like it, you know? Okay, my next group is History. They debuted in 2013 with Dreamer, and Dreamer was one of my favorite K-pop songs of all time, but I feel like having it as a debut song is probably one of the reasons they didn't gain too much popularity. It wasn't exactly your sort of generic pop song that most, like in Korea, I feel like it's more like poppy, and then internationally, I feel like you appreciate a lot of the weird sort of different concepts. That's just from what I've observed. But yeah, they have 5 members. They're actually under Low End Entertainment, and they actually have a few K-pop groups, but I don't think any of the groups are actually super popular. So I feel like maybe it was kind of the company's fault that they didn't do as well. All of their title tracks had really different concepts, and I feel like that might, I guess, be the reason. Like they started off with a really mature concept, and while it wasn't popular, it sort of you'd get a certain audience from that. And then next title track was really like poppy and happy. So I feel like people who'd become fans were kind of like, oh, like what is this? And then they had Psycho, which was like 80s themed, then What Am I To, which was like 60s. And then they'd all had like 1 to 2 million views each. And then they came out with Queen, which got 10 million views. And then they disbanded in 2017. So
Queen was so freaking good. And then that's when I really got into them. And then they disbanded.
Yeah, their leader went to the military. And then following that, they disbanded because, Kyungil. But now, like, they're all doing sort of individual things. Like Yijong's part of a producing group called Divine Channel. They do stuff for BTS, TXT, like JYP artists, that kind of thing. And there are other members are doing individual things.
J-Ho's
as well.
doing producing too, isn't he? Is J-Ho
Yeah,
doing some
yeah.
producing?
I think he was the one that was doing producing, and one of them is doing art. So I have no idea why they disbanded. I think it was just managing and marketing, you know.
Okay, Lucy.
Well, my first one is Universe, but it's spelled UNVS, and they technically only debuted in 2020, but the members are a lot older, and they have previously worked in other groups, and most of the members were a group in Taiwan, and they've got a nice mature concept, which is really unusual. They are 5 members. 2 of them currently in the military, because why not get it over with while you can't do anything anyway. The rest of them have either already been to the military, or one of the members is Chinese, so he doesn't need to go.
Always handy.
They, if I have to recommend, they've got a Rookie King debut, sort of pre-debut show. I highly recommend that to get to know the members' personalities a bit better. One of the members, I think, has got a solo on the way soon, you know. One of their songs I'd recommend, especially since it's getting summer most places, is Sandcastle, and that's their latest one.
Yeah, it was a nice one.
The reason they're underrated is because the company is really small. It's just them, and the management is really good, but it's hard when you're so small to get out there. It seems like they've tried quite a lot, all the members previously in either other groups, other countries, and they are really talented. They are, thankfully, most, like I said, because they're older, most of them have already been in the military and stuff. So hopefully when these 2 members come out, they'll be releasing more music and it'll be more steady. Because they haven't even been able to promote properly because they only debuted last year.
And they're in their 30s, right?
Yeah, the age range is big because it's 91 liners for 2 of them, and then it's 92, 93, and then 97 for the Macne, who they just decided to enlist with the 92 liner because why not get it all over with. Their vocals are beautiful, the rap's really good, there is shirtlessness, if that will get people on board.
I know, I've done a couple of reactions and there was yelling, I can tell you that.
One thing as well, in the latest Sandcastle, there's a lot of interactions with women as well, which really just doesn't tend to happen a lot in K-pop MVs and songs. They've got a really measured, healthy approach from the management and themselves, and they're just really worth checking out. It's just a shame because it's such a small company to try and get them out there. My next group is from a big company, but the big company does absolutely nothing for them. They're Romance, which is romance with a V before it. Basically, the fandom name is broccoli, like broccoli, if that helps get people involved. It's one of my top fandom names because it's just so, they're such dorks, honestly. They're so dorky, all of them. It's a 4-member group, and one of the issues with them, I think, is they're with RBW, and I don't think RBW really know what to do with them. So
that's Mamamoo and Purple Kiss and in case anyone doesn't know who's watching.
They aren't a big dancing group or anything. They're very, very vocal centric, which makes it hard to get them out there for performances, I guess. Although they did have such a good choreo for She with the mic passing and stands, which is their debut, which I highly recommend. She, Mamamoo's Fasa is in the start of the video. They debuted not long after Mamamoo, I think. And very much like Mamamoo, there's 4 members. They are typically fitting into general group standards, but they've just not pushed them the way that they have Mamamoo. And some of the members are in the military. And just to show you how underrated they are, one of the members actually got married earlier this year, and there was no fuss about it whatsoever.
Wow.
That's how you know that.
That's crazy.
But yeah, the leader got married. He was born in 1989. The leader, but the youngest is 94 as well. So they're older as well. They are, like I said, very vocally centric. But she is very, very upbeat. It's not like a ballad almost. It's very like dancey. It's the sort of thing that you like in your pajamas in your bedroom with a hairbrush jumping around to. They're so charismatic, all four of them. They are such weirdos. I highly recommend going to watch their very now aged YouTube video of their cover of Bang Bang, Ariana Grande and people. The video for it displays their weirdness perfectly. They busk a lot, and I think they've got a lot of fans from busking. Some of the members were on Mix Now and did very well, like vocally. I've mentioned it before on one of the episodes of the iconic Mix 9 Love in the Ice cover. There was members involved in that. I recommend the track Star as well. The video for that is beautiful. It's got some dancers in it. If you want to cry, I'm fine. Go and watch that video. You won't be fine afterwards. All of their music is so listenable. But I think it's just because they don't fit into that conventional sort of doing a lot of dancing and performing on stage, apart from in the way that they do charismatically when they sing. I just think RBW just doesn't know what to do.
What to do with them, yeah.
And it's so sad because they are incredibly talented. Their vocals are some of the best I've ever heard in K-pop, and nobody knows that they exist.
Oh no.
They're in RBW and nobody knows they exist. Everyone leaves them off lists of like artists under RBW because they're literally invisible. They've got so much good content out there, but yeah, they just do not get any love. Hardly any people know they exist.
Okay, Diddy, tell us about your underrated groups.
Well, I think it's really cool because a lot of us are sharing a lot of the same groups. Like a lot of the things people would mention, I agree with about a lot of the groups. So I was just like, you know what? As I looked at the list you sent me, I was like, okay, a couple people took the people I was thinking, but it's cool. So I picked some people, bear with me, because they haven't really been around for a long time, but I'm still really huge on like where I think people should be based on the talent that's actually currently out. And I picked two women groups because I don't think the women get enough credit ever in anything. Sure. So especially when it comes to dancing. So I picked Everglow and Purple Kiss. I know Purple Kiss hasn't even been out for a full year yet, or just over a year, but
they're amazing.
It's almost, they are ridiculous, man. And so they're a 7-member group. Everybody's Korean except for Yuki. She's Japanese. And they are amazing. Swan actually wrote the Panzamo single when they were like coming up in the training. So, yeah, I was like blown away when I was like, so this was like a test, and then they actually ended up being the lead single. Like, that's crazy. She also did the the reference track for Snappin' Snappin' for Chungha, and she also did another reference track as well. But she's like a hitman when it comes to writing the records and coming up with a lot of the things. And I found out that I think it was Chain and Goen did the choreography for My Heart Skips a Beat and for Panzamo. They came up with the choreography themselves.
That's great.
So when you look at the amount of talent that they have, and Yuki, she writes all her own raps. And Cheyenne actually can rap as well. She's really good at it, but right now they kind of focus on Yuki doing the rapping. So when you actually see all of the things that all of the members can bring to the table, they are really good. And then I've been watching the Literally Purple Kiss show, and they are goofy as I don't know what. It's really fun to watch how they interact with each other. Yuki's become my bias really quickly because she's not scared of anything. So every time they do anything scary, she's just like, this looks like fun. Everybody else is screaming their heads off. And I really love that about her. And the group is just really entertaining. So Purple Kiss is one of my groups. And their whole album is actually really good. If you guys haven't heard it, Everything, Period. Hello, and those songs don't even have videos or nothing. They're just songs. Skip, they did like a whole showcase, and they did a performance of Skip, and it was crazy. So they're really good, and I think that they should be talked about a lot more than they are being talked about right now. I think RBW is doing an okay job with them, but I think a lot of labels fail in not capitalizing off of making like just kind of like B-side videos, not necessarily the huge budget or anything like that. Like what kind of comes to mind is like Sahara from Dreamcatcher. They kind of just had a video of just them playing around, and I think videos like that go a long way to kind of like get people to like members of the group and like the groups. My other group is Everglow. They're a 6-person group. And when they debuted it, we were really, really blown away. More so by Adios than Bonbon Chocolate. But when we went to see them in concert, I think that's what solidified it, because they came out to do Bonbon Chocolate. And we actually have a video on the YouTube channel if you guys want to check it out. They were performing and the music died while they were doing Bonbon Chocolate. And it was like, start it over. And they started it over, and then it died again, but we were all singing along. So they just finished the choreography while we were singing along.
Awesome.
And they talked to us throughout the concert, and then a couple of the members showed off, dancing, like, Mia, she showed off her dancing skills. EU and I think it was EU and Anda, they did like their own kind of performance. They all kind of did their own separate performances in sections of 2. And it was just really like, wow, they're really good. And it just sucks when you just don't see them talked about as much as like a BTS. Not saying BTS shouldn't be talked about, but I'm just saying Everglow is really good. You know what I mean?
They really are. They really are.
Yeah, so just watching, and that's the other thing that really kills me is like the females that don't get enough respect for their dancing ability. So like you go and watch the Adios choreography, or you could take it a step further and watch the La Di Da choreography. Any of the dance practices for that, or any of their performances for that, it's so tight, so precise. It's just ridiculous. And I really, really, really look up to like the way they handle themselves on stage, in their interviews, the way they act around each other. All of that stuff is usually really fun for me to watch as far as any K-pop group goes.
Mm-hmm. No, they're amazing. They should be way bigger. Okay, Swenson, who have you got on your list for us?
I've got 2 groups. I'm gonna talk about firstly Victon. I mean,
yes,
I'm pretty sure Victon's relatively well established. So I think they're underrated because I think it has to do with timing. So back on Victon, they're a 7-member boy group. They're under Playam Entertainment, which also houses A-Pink. And A-Pink just made their 10th anniversary earlier this week. So I forgot to mention about that earlier. But Playam Entertainment had a debut in 2016. They've got members, Eldest, born in 1994, Han Seung-woo, which is also in Produce X101. And then they have Magne, which is what's his name again?
Subin.
Jung Subin, born in 1999. So they're also known as the Dimple Group because all 7 of them have got dimples.
I know.
And then what are the odds? You know what I mean? Like 7 of them coming together as a group, and then all of them they're just that's meant to be. So I felt like they had the debut in 2016, and it's 2016. It's a very difficult year to make it big because I'll put this into context. We've got names that are like big names that are still active today, which they all debut. They had a debut in 2016. We've got Pentagon, we've got Astro, NCT 127, and NCT Dream also had. They also came out in 2016. And then on the girls' side, got Momo Land, Blackpink. They've all got tremendous success, which makes the market so much saturated for such a short year. So my personal favorite of their song is a slower track called Time of Sorrow. It's also one of their title tracks, but I think it's not being appreciated enough. Yeah. However, recently, I felt like 2020 marks a milestone for them because they had My Day coming out, and then What I Said, Howling. Those are all bops. And like if you guys don't know who Victor is, maybe start with Mayday and What I Said, because that's two of their most recent comebacks, and I felt like that brought them up to a completely different level compared to what they are previously. They're off to a rough start, and then somewhere around 2018, the group went into a year-long, not even it's more than a year, like a year and a half long of hiatus, and then because they haven't got a good start, so the company decided to put two of the members, which is Sungwoo and Byung-chan, into the competition, the survival show produced X101, and then Sungwoo actually secured himself a re-debut rather, with X1, a winner group. But then we all know what happened. Not even half a year later, the whole vote breaking scandal came out, and then guess who's behind this? Mnet again. They've been living up to their notoriously guilty reputation.
Flames.
So, but I felt that happened for a reason. Now that Sungwoo's back into Victor and they're doing so well, and I hope the best for them for their upcoming careers. So yeah, that's the first group.
Do you think Sungwoo's solo career helped draw attention to them as well? Because his solo
so good.
debut,
So strong.
And he's got like a huge following thanks to Produce X101 as well.
They have one of the best rappers in the industry too.
Yes. Second group, it's a girls group called Playback. They had a debut in 2015. They started as a 4-member group, and then 2017 they've added another member. When they debuted, they were managed by a small company called Clear Company, which I've never heard of. And then just a couple of months into the career, a merger happened with Corridel Entertainment, which is owned by Jessica from ex, some might call her ex Girls' Generation member. So the company is in deep trouble because of the beef going on between Jessica and SM Entertainment. So they are, I felt like Playback, they haven't got a huge discography, mainly because of the restrictions in place for them to they can't go on music shows, and that's pretty much how you kill like a Korean idol. Because if they can't promote actively on TV, then definitely not going to get much exposure. However, I think it's 2017 or 2018, they've got one song that hooked me. I still listen to it on like a weekly basis. I go back to this song so often that I felt like I should put this out because it is such an earworm. It's called Want You to Say. I don't know if any of you have heard of that before, but if you haven't, check it out. Want You to Say has got one of the, I would say 2017 is like a year for tropical vibes, and I'm a huge sucker for tropical, like songs with tropical vibes, so like tropical house music and stuff. So that's pretty much it. That song itself has got like over 10 million views on YouTube, and then they've also got the debut track called Playback. Is also one worthy of checking out, but sadly they weren't able to show their full potential just because they were placed in a company that was on its way to doom. After 2017, they've got no official announcement, official nothing. We don't exactly know if the group is still together. But like they disappeared, and then I did a deeper dive, and I actually found out that one of the members, Ha-young, joined Mix9, and she made the cut. She was actually the last member, because Mix9 was, the winner group was supposed to have 9 members in it, and she made it to the top 9. But again, unfortunately, Mix9, YG, everything just went down the toilet. This is a case of wasted talent, pure wasted talent.
Okay, Jaime. Tell us about your 2 underrated groups.
Yeah, so I think this topic's so interesting because is it underrated in Korea, internationally? So I think I have a good mix. First is Signature. It's a girl group that just debuted in 2020. I believe they have 7 members. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're, half of the group was in another group called Good Day. So I think the reason why for me they stand out is because they're really good. They're really good. Their music is pretty EDM based, like heavy on the EDM, which I love. I'm a raver, so I can appreciate when K-pop uses EDM appropriately. Not necessarily using it as their chorus, which I can appreciate sometimes, but I think Signature has really great vocalists, and they're kind of a little bit, they're centric. They're not like the other groups. Their debut did pretty well in Korea, actually. I think they're peaking in the low 2021, 7,000 sales, but which is not bad for a Korean debut. But internationally, it's like, I don't know if like K-pop groups just have to pick a route. They're right these days. So my next group is Card, and I think I would safe to say that internationally they're not the most underrated, but in Korea they're not very well
Definitely.
known.
Right.
So they've never won as oh, awesome. I have actually on the K-pop group, I only owned one album, but now I own all the albums because I have to support them. But yeah, so they've never Card. It's Card genre is Moombatan. It's dance hall, tropical, EDM, little reggae, a little Spanish, which I am Mexican Salvadoran, so that really speaks to me. But they haven't won a stage show. They don't have their own color, their light stick. They don't have colors. They don't have a full length album. So it's they're ran under DSP, which Kata was in DSP. So I feel like they have the recipe. I just don't know what it is.
They do. It's like they chemistry too amongst the members.
Yeah.
They've got everything they need. Like, why doesn't the Korean public sort of embrace them?
Is it not the mixed gender thing? Doesn't Korea have an issue with boy group, girl group together? I don't know.
Yeah, there's so many like YouTube like analysis on this, like why Koreans have a hard time with co-ed groups. What's another co-ed group just debuted at Checkmate. I think it's, well, you can look at yourself. It's something about idolizing females and men and gender roles and such. Yeah, so I with the J-Sub's in the military now, so there's only 3 of them right now. BM is going to debut as a soloist pretty soon in next month. He's teasing it. They're also talking about the girls having a subunit until J-Sub coming back. But I don't see that, honestly, like as a hidden as I am, I don't see them winning. Like their prime was like Ola Ola, and then like or their first song Onana. But
first year was so good.
Yeah. So we'll see. But those are my groups.
Okay, Trish.
Hey. My 2 groups are going to follow a theme that some of the rest of you have had. They're from small companies, and they also, funnily enough, are 2 of the tallest groups in K-pop. It's
talking about K&K.
K&K and Great Guys. First, Great Guys is a 9-member group under DNA Entertainment. They're the only group with that company. They are a lot of fun. There's 9 members, but like they're currently promoting with only 7. One's in the military and their leader's taking a break. They're a lot of fun, insanely talented. They have great vocalists. Their leader, Jay, is he's a great dancer. He used to be a backup dancer for BTS. And then I really like their rappers, Donghyun and Uyeon. Uyeon is like the super tall one of the group. He's as tall as Rowoon from SF9. And Donghyun has a really unique sound. He's from Busan. He finds like standard Korean difficult, so he speaks and raps in Busan dialect. And it's like when I hear him rap, it's like I know immediately it's him. I first heard them when they were doing kind of darker concepts. It's like the video for Be On You is like, even like Donghyun is wearing like black lipstick. It's very almost sort of gothy in a way.
Yeah.
And
it
not
was
much else.
yes,
Yeah, not
that's
much
true.
else.
There was some shirtlessness happening.
There was.
But it's really interesting. They've done they are equally as good at sort of brighter, lighter concepts. It's like they did sort of a fun B-side video for what was it called? In Summer, which just kind of video of them just sort of running around, playing at the beach, goofing off and stuff, and it was real sweet. But their new one that just came out this week is called Touch by Touch. And it's sort of this feel-good song about like how everybody's wanting to get back to a normal type of world where we can interact in person with each other. And it's very upbeat and bright. Like in some of the scenes, they're all wearing like these different color pastel suits. And then in another one, they're wearing like these really kind of bright with eye-catching pattern suits, and it's a really fun, uplifting song. So if you're in a bad mood, it's one of those songs you put it on and you're like, oh, I feel so much better now. Let's see, they've done about 5 albums ranging. They had a full album, some minis, and some singles. And then like they've done. Look, I bought their album Run last year, and it was Run was the title track, and they were really good about putting in lots of extras, like the stuff that comes with it. And, usually when you get like individual posters and stuff, it'll be like one member. They gave you a full size, like individual poster of all 9 members. Wow. And it was like, I have them, you can't see it, but I have them above my window. So lots of good stuff from them. The other group is K&K. They have a much bigger discography, and it's It's like I've bought everything they've ever put out. I really like their sound. They're a 5-member group, and they debuted under a different company, and then they lost a member, and then they went through a period of whether or not they were going to continue. But then they brought in a new rapper, and they formed their own company, 220 Entertainment. And so they're kind of one of those self-funded groups now. Like I actually took part in the crowdfunding for one of their comebacks, which is kind of unfortunate because it's sort of like when you're doing that, you may be doing things on a shoestring, and it would be great if they had more funding to really showcase their potential and do more. They have the kind of like most K-pop groups, they have great dancers, rappers, singers. Their most recent album was Airline. The lead single was Ride. Probably one of my favorites of theirs was a couple years ago. They had an album called SS Collection. It only had 3 tracks, but they were all awesome. Yeah, I highly recommend watching the video for Sunset.
Oh my God.
It was so good.
So good.
And then I also, yes, that opening
the way that
choreo,
started. Yeah.
It was where the Heejin is like, they're holding Heejin and he's like just hanging there. It was so cool. I've never seen anything like it. And then I also really love the B-side on that album called Fade. It's really good.
Yeah.
And their debut song which was Knock. And that was when Eugene was still with them.
Oh.
And I just love that song. It's still one I play pretty often. And it's just like, and it's one I will actually go back and rewatch the MV for it pretty often too. I really like it. I love, Dongwon, the rapper who's with them now. But I kind of miss Eugene too, because I loved his voice. But he left. He had some anxiety issues. He's actually doing some online streaming stuff now too.
Yeah.
With various content, which it was good to see him back. He said he may do some music in the future, but he's kind of doing other stuff now. So it's at least good to see him back and kind of having an online presence. So those are my 2 groups.
And I know there are so many more underrated groups to talk about, and we can only talk about 18 of them today. But what I will do is I'll put their names on the screen with the suggested songs to check out, and also there's a list that a few people on Twitter gave us some groups. You guys gave us some other groups and some songs to check out. I'll put them all on the screen and also drop them in the description. So really try and check out these groups. Okay, guys, it's time. It's that time everyone has been looking forward to all day. Frankie's shitty quiz time. Hang on.
Time to be shitty.
Okay, so as you know, it's only our guests that ever do well, and Lucy. Okay, no, I just realised Hannah, who isn't here today, did well one time. Usually Lucy, I don't know how Lucy actually does well, because she doesn't hear any of the questions till for 5 seconds afterwards because she's so laggy, and she still beat Drunk Mike, Trish, and everyone else who's regularly on the show. So usually our guests take, but today I've taken the liberty of putting you into teams. Because I've spread around the talent or the non-talent, as however you want to look at it. So, Diddy, Jaime, and Christine, you are the captains of your teams. Diddy, your team. So I've given your teams names that people call us older fans. So I don't want. So Dame, your team, and I'll tell you who's in your team shortly. Your team is. Oh shit! I forgot what I called you. I think I just called you. I've got it written down. What am I saying? Okay, you're the Hags. You're Hags. So on your team, you've got your Hag team. You've got Sui and Alex. They're your Hag team. Okay, Jaime, your team are called Boomers. You've got Trish and Lucy. Trish and Lucy. You got Lucy.
Oh man, that's the worst name. That's gotta be the worst name.
It's not the worst name. It's not the worst name.
Terrible.
The worst name is coming. Christine, your team is called the Karens.
No, that's worse. That's bad.
So Swenson and Christy, you are Karens. Right. So we're going to... I apologise. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen in a minute.
Do we have to yell out Karens?
No.
Hags, team one. I thought this would let me set it all before, but it didn't. We got boomers. Fuck, I hate it. Someone called me a boomer the other day.
I get called a boomer all the time until people realize I'm like, hey man, I'm definitely not a boomer yet. I was born a couple of years too late to be a boomer.
I'm only 1 year off being a boomer, but
I don't think any of us are boomers yet.
No, some guy.
No, Gen X. Gen X.
Oh, wait, what's a boomer? I'm 1 year. Some guy commented on our reactions that he goes, oh,
did you ask what a boomer is?
Seeing boomers, he said, seeing boomers bop along to music out off beat is one of the treasures of this world. Oh, fucking treasures.
Condescending.
So condescending.
What age is boomers?
Boomers
I feel like you had to be born in 60, 1960?
64.
Okay,
64. Yeah.
And then right around World War II.
Yeah. So I'm 65.
Okay, boomer went out of hand there, because I feel like now I'm thinking like, oh, boomers must be like 40 and above. Like, I don't know. Okay, boomer.
Okay, guys, get ready. Boomers, get ready, because today there's no sound because it's really loud. It's just the sound's going to be me yelling at you.
This is called Wheel of K-pop. It works just like Wheel of Fortune. Okay. They will each round is a title. Look, it's either a title track or a music video from one of the groups we've talked about tonight. Right? It's the name of their song. It's the name of a song that they had a music video for, whether it was a title track or a secondary track, whatever. And what happens is you, as teams, you go through just like Wheel of Fortune. The only difference is that you get all the points at the end of each round if you're the winning team, and everyone loses the rest of the points. So just you want to decide, obviously, whether you want to spin again or look, it's dramatic. Let's just start. Right, so we're going to start round one. Category underrated group song 1, and we're going to go to Hags. Okay, we've got a spin to start with, so here we go. Okay, you have guess a letter. What, guys? Anyone want to take a guess that you can discuss? Diddy, you're the captain, right?
S.
S. 2 S's, guys.
Nice.
So this is a song we're trying to figure out. You're saying.
Okay, and because they got it right, they have another go. So, do you want to spin again, or do you want to solve the puzzle by a vowel?
I know what it is, maybe.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Well, you can't guess because it's not your turn unless you're a hag. You can't guess it.
What are you guys thinking? You got it?
Do we need to do some more letters first, just to make sure?
Let's just spin again, and you can add the next letter then.
So you want to spin again? All right. Hags, and we'll spin.
Is there a bankrupt thing up here?
No, I took it off because I felt sorry.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought I didn't want. I put the bankrupt one off. Oh, nice. All right, guess the letter.
Are we thinking this?
No, you can't do vowels. You have to buy a vowel. So
okay.
So
what about
a T? Yeah, sure.
T. Yes.
Oh.
Okay, do you want to spin again, or do you want to buy a vowel, or do you want to solve it?
I think we've got it.
Yeah, I think we've got it.
I
want to say
don't.
it?
Go for it, Alex.
Sunset.
That's what I say. Sunset.
Oh shit! I can't find the thing that says whether you got it right or not. Shit! But yes, it is sunset. Oh, solve. Hang on, I had to hit. Hang on. I don't know what I'm doing. Solve puzzle. Solve puzzle. Okay. Sorry, I haven't used this before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next round.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to start with the next group. So next group is
this one's long.
Boomers. Okay, so you want to spin, obviously. So this is they're all songs by these groups.
Oh,
you lose the turn. Oh.
Sorry, Boomers.
Sorry. It's the Karens.
All right.
I
Karen
should
taking
have taken it
control.
off, but I wasn't going to be. I already took off bankrupt.
Karen saw the manager.
300. Yeah, Karen saw the manager. So Karen's pick a letter.
So Swenson, what do you think? I'm thinking T.
I'm gonna go with you because whatever I come up with, it's gonna be
2 T's. There's 2 T's. Woo! Okay. What do you want to do next? Do you want to solve it, buy a vowel, or spin again?
I know what it is.
I'm as clueless as a duck.
Okay.
Oh, it's not your turn.
Yeah.
Please
Hang on,
please
so you
miss
want
it so I can
to-
solve this.
Hang on, Karen's. So you want to solve it yet?
Do we want to solve it, Swenson?
Wait, I've got no. I don't know what.
No,
that
I
is.
don't know.
Oh, maybe,
I don't know.
But that was me
No.
that said I know what it is.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think we should
we're
buy
hags.
another. We should probably buy another.
we'll go for that
letter.
spin.
Go for another spin.
Oh, okay. Hang on, I don't know how to go back now.
We can try to solve it.
You said you were going to solve it. Oh, I think I'll
No, that was it.
It
no,
wasn't
I can
us.
go back.
No, that
So you
was
wanna-
me. That was me. My bad.
Oh, all right, no. So Karen's is spinning again. Okay.
Oh.
200. All right. Do you want to guess the letter? Yeah.
Okay, Swenson, what are you guessing?
Let's go with W.
Nope.
Bing bong.
Oh dear.
Okay, so we're back to the hags.
So do we get more money by spending it and getting money, or do we get money for solving it too?
No, you don't get. No, you have to spin to get money.
Okay, yeah, just go ahead and spend it then.
You might as well get some more money if you know what it is, unless you lose a turn. Lol. Oh no, you're good. Okay, letter.
All right, let's go with C.
Oh. Okay. Do you want to try spin again, or do you want to?
What y'all guys think? Should we solve it or should we just spin again?
I can't think of anything.
Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is.
I mean, if
100%.
If you know it, I think just go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, just solve it then. It's flip that coin.
I knew it was that. I couldn't figure out the whole phrase.
Hags,
Mm-hmm.
Hags are in the lead. What is wrong with you people? All right.
I thought it was Got That Boom, but I was like,
We didn't even get a chance.
All right. As Hags,
Boomers didn't even
so
get a
we'll go.
chance.
We're going to start with
I know what it is.
No, you can't.
You
Cut it
what?
out, dude.
It's Boomers. We're just going around to make it fair. All right, Boomers, we're spinning it for you. Oh God.
Oh.
I thought you were going to get it again. So pick a letter.
Would
T,
someone-
maybe?
Okay. Ooh. Oh.
Okay, do you want to spin again or?
Yeah, let's spin again.
Yeah.
Spin again?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to guess another letter?
What about S?
Yeah.
Bingo!
Oh.
Wow.
Nice.
That 3 whole
my
words, no
goodness.
S.
All right,
Karen's.
Karen's. Let's see.
Let's go,
Karen's.
Karen's.
Then.
Okay.
Christian, I've got my hopes on you.
I have,
I have no idea.
Guess the letter.
Let's try L.
N's always good. No.
We're L. We're going L.
L. L.
Ooh.
Oh. I think I have a guess. I have a guess.
So, you want to solve the puzzle? You sure? Because I can't go
Swenson,
backwards.
I think I have a guess, so I'd like to try to solve it.
Okay. What do you think it is?
Is it bonbon chocolate?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, correct.
Oh.
I forget chocolate's not spelled.
Oh, yeah, true.
Next round. Okay, we are back to the Hags. I'll
Regular
spin it.
panels. We've got the game up. It's
Oh,
always the
I know.
guess that gets it right.
It's the Hags. It's the Hags. 600 Hags. What do you pick a letter?
So Alex, you got a letter?
I can't think of I'm just trying.
Come on, Alex. I know you looked over your mom's shoulder when she put this together.
No, she didn't.
We're in our separate rooms the whole day, so.
All day. We never see each other.
So social.
Maybe like
Pick a letter.
L.
L.
A.
Drum rolls.
Okay, do you want another spin?
Yeah, we gotta do something. Maybe S. It's like the most common letter in the alphabet, right?
So, oh, hang on. Wait. Oh, did I not? It didn't let me.
It's okay, we still
Sorry.
get 700.
700. All right. Who cares? Guess the letter. So it was S. You took too long. S. Yes, there's one S. Okay. Do you want to guess by a vowel? You've got lots of money. Or
Sure. Let's buy a vowel.
By a
okay,
vowel.
Hags by a vowel. Which vowel?
A.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, bingo!
No!
Yes. I know it.
Okay, boomers. We'll spin
Oh,
it for you.
you
'cause you've got to spin it.
It's gonna mix us now.
Please give us some money.
Okay.
Oh, it's so close.
Oh, that was
All right. Your letter?
M.
Okay. Do you want to?
Do y'all want to
again?
spin again for more money? I know what it is.
I'll leave it up to
Solve
you
it.
since you know
Okay.
it.
What?
spin
I'm sorry.
again?
Spin again. Yeah.
Why do I not feel good about this? Very good.
W.
Now, just let me tell you one thing about the scoring. it doesn't matter who's got the highest score. Whoever wins it wins anyway. So you don't have to keep spinning. So you want to solve the puzzle? You want to solve it?
It's We Must Love.
Yes.
Woo!
Yeah.
On and off. Okay.
On and off.
But your total score, your total
Nice.
things right up at the bottom. So it is good at the end. I think it's whoever's got the highest score. But during you lose your points if you lose. You lose your points if you lose. Okay, so we're up to the Karens.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm so sorry, Karen.
So awful.
No one's gonna name their baby Karen at all after this.
Now after a million years.
Okay. Guess a letter.
Yeah.
Swenson? It seems like T is always a good safe one, so let's try T.
S, T, and N
let's
are
go
the
T.
letters.
Yeah.
So do you want to spin, buy vowel, or solve it?
This
Want to spin again?
seems like it ought to be really
think-
solvable.
I know it. Oh.
Are you
Someone
Karen,
knows it,
Lucy?
so wait.
She's not.
Swenson,
She's not Karen.
Swenson, do you have an idea what this could be?
I don't.
Maybe we should.
I feel like
Okay,
I do,
let's
but I
spin
don't.
again. Let's spin
Spin
again.
again?
Let's
I
do it.
have no
Oh.
idea, so.
Onto the wheel.
Somebody's just got it as well, I think.
Someone else has got it.
Light bulbs going off everywhere.
Yeah.
600. Guess the letter.
Swenson, guess a letter.
Why is it me again?
Just go to the hags.
S or N, try one of those.
Or you can buy a vowel. Oh, but you just spun,
Can
didn't
we?
you? So you
We
have
just
to pick a letter.
Let's pick a letter. Let's try S.
We'll pick a letter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you want S? Yes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Bing
by
bong.
the-
Oh.
Yep.
Darn.
Love that. Wait.
Yes. Let's go,
I have
hags.
no clue.
What an idea.
You have any
Oh.
clues, Soya, Alex?
Go on, this
I
is
know,
it.
I know.
You've got it.
Oh, Alex
Okay.
knows. Oh, good.
Oh, okay.
Guess the letter.
So I guess D.
Yeah.
You may guess D.
Yeah.
Oh, Alex. What? Alex.
There's Swenson's comps.
Now, do you want to spin again?
What?
Do you want to buy a vowel or solve it? Do you want to get more money or?
I mean, I know what it is,
all right.
but
Depends if that's if you want to solve it.
but everyone knows what it is. So
feel
maybe
so
we should just solve it.
Oh,
Solve
in
it.
case
Yeah,
we
yeah,
get
just
skipped.
solve it.
Solve
A
it.
dumb
I feel so-
lady.
Oh,
Dumb.
dumb.
Oh, I see that.
Dump.
This is your song.
And someone in our crew did that. Someone in our crew did that. What the heck?
We are going to boomers. Let's go. For
Can we
200.
Can we choose G? Because I know what it is.
Oh, sure. Lucy has magic. I'm telling you, she's got freaking magic.
Oh wow.
Let's solve it.
Okay. Really? Okay.
It's my group,
Okay,
and it's Give You Up.
Yes, Lucy! She do it.
Man, killing it.
Wait.
Oh, sorry for the audio.
Wait, who's
I can hear you
who's that?
screaming from the other room.
Oh, fuck. Really
Who's
sorry.
who's song, Lucy?
All right, we're going to the Karens. Karens, here we go.
One letter.
Oh boy. Okay.
For 100, guess a letter.
T.
So few letters.
C. Bing
Oh
bong.
no, T.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
back to the hags.
Man, do you guys have any clue what this could be?
Oh.
I'm trying to think of like that last letter. If there's
Yeah.
like a hyphen, or if it's just like.
I'm assuming
No, it's
that
a
last
hyphen,
letter
it's
is a U.
hyphen. It'll show
It's
a
a-
hyphen or an apostrophe if it's a
I'm
Oh.
automatically going to like a love you, need you, something
darn
along
it.
those lines.
Totally where my head is going.
Oh
to.
yeah.
Alec,
probably.
anything, hags? Pick a
I
letter.
can't.
Wait, but it's a song from the groups.
It's a song from one of the groups we talked about today.
You can't even buy a vowel because you haven't got any money.
Nah.
Oh, guess one of those,
you know,
guess one
I
of
think
those
you know it.
consonants that you were saying,
wanna get to
an
the
L or an
Karens.
N or something.
Yeah, we know what it is.
know.
Don't we,
Here you
Christine?
L.
L.
Come on, L. Yes. Good choice.
Oh.
Okay, do you
Not
want
where I thought it would be.
to buy a vowel
Yeah,
or do you
true,
want
true
to spin?
Yeah, by you.
We'll buy a vowel and you want a U?
That didn't help. That just confirmed what we already knew.
Confirmed that. So do you want to spin again? Or-
There's somebody that we did have a song called "Hold You" by any chance?
Are you
Do you
guessing
wanna-
it or do you want it to spin?
I'm talking to my team.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm
We
not
should've put- I was
sure.
I was trying to figure out a way to give you a private chat, but I couldn't work it out. Yeah.
Nothing's coming to me either.
It's not like.
Yeah, just
Oh no,
spin.
it's not. Never mind.
Yeah, I guess just spin.
Spin.
I guess H. I can't think of anything else.
Or F,
200.
F maybe?
Okay, I need a final answer. Team captain.
Uh,
Okay, I'm trying to think of words.
H. Hold you maybe. If that's an H, then
Bing bong. Bing bong. Boomers.
Do the boomers know?
Do you want to spin or do you want to solve
spin.
it?
Yeah,
You
we'll
spin?
spin.
I don't know.
$300. Guess the letter.
What about D?
Sure.
Bing bong.
Oh, did someone in my group know it? I'm sorry.
No.
Oh.
Karen.
Okay.
Christina,
I
we're
think
just
you
going to
wanna
solve
solve
it, or
I
are we
think
going
I
to
know
solve
it, but
it?
should we spin? I feel like we should spin, Swenson. Or do you want to risk losing a turn or solve it?
Well, you have no money. You have no money, so
No.
winning means nothing.
Winning means
If
nothing.
you
Let's
win,
spin.
you've got zero.
Oh,
You've
right.
got
Okay,
$0.
we're going to spin then.
Yeah.
We'll do
You've got
$11 then.
$0 to add,
Okay.
so you might. You might lose the turn, but you already had zero. So
Okay.
now you got 600.
Okay,
If you
600.
guess-
All right.
Yeah.
The letter
Well,
that
well,
we'll
well,
guess is N.
Okay. I'm pretty solid on this.
So I know what it is.
I'm pretty
You want to solve
Yeah.
the puzzle?
Yep.
Yeah, we know it.
Yep.
Yep.
Christine.
Swenson, go for it.
Oh, me? Only you.
Yeah. Yes.
Only you, but
Yes,
you.
only you. Only
Love it.
you. Oh, sorry, I'm just getting a bit. That's Impact, everyone.
No, don't be
Yes,
sorry.
Impact.
It's
It's such a good song. Okay,
I know this.
Hags. Let's go, Hags. Let's go.
You know what?
One of you
know it
guys.
already?
One of you. Nah, I do not this time. You guys got a letter?
No.
300. Let's go.
T.
T.
Can I get like 6 T's?
No.
Oh.
So,
not even one.
Boomers.
So if,
Spin?
yeah, let's spin. I know it, but I want to get money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why not?
Does anyone else in my group might have an idea?
600.
Wow. That's
Guess the
a
letter.
N.
He knows it.
Oh, I know it now.
Oh, we all kind of know it now.
Look at the
I mean-
points. Would you like to solve it?
Well, I don't think we can. Yeah, I'll just solve it.
Solve it yet?
Nu na na.
Yes, a signature song. Yes.
I was like,
3600.
Ooh.
They're obviously
Man.
giving it per letter. I didn't realize it.
That was
did that.
devastating.
Right. Karen's. Let's go.
All
Yeah.
right.
Second last round.
I'm stressing way too much
700.
over this. I
Guess
don't
the
know.
letter.
Okay. Don't stress, Swanson. Guess our letter.
Oh, all right.
Go N.
N?
Or T.
Yeah,
What do you reckon?
Let's try it.
Oh, too late. I hit N.
Yeah, there is one. Whew.
Yes. Okay. Do you want to spin again?
Yeah.
Yup.
So we will spin. I'm gonna put some music in when I edit this. 200. Pick a letter.
Let's try S.
One S.
S1.
Okay. Blank is.
So spin.
I
Guess
don't
or
have an
buy a
idea.
vowel. No.
I don't have any idea yet.
I don't have any idea. So spin it, I
Okay.
guess.
So do you want to spin it again?
Let's spin.
Let's spin.
Don't forget you can buy a vowel. 700.
What do you think?
Should we buy a vowel?
Well, you've got to pick a letter now because you did a spin.
What do you want to pick?
Let's go with
T? No?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, wait, T?
T? Bing bong! Right, Hags, let's go. Do you want to solve it or spin?
Nah, we gotta spin. What do you guys thinking letter wise? I have nothing.
I had something, and then they guessed Lara.
Oh, come on, man.
And I got nothing.
I think I know what it is.
So do you want to solve it or spin?
What
so
do you want to do, guys?
This is Boomers.
We need to
do you want
spin
to
to get
solve
some
it?
money.
Just spin.
You want to spin? Okay. Let's spin. Guess the letter.
L.
Ooh.
Let's see.
Okay, do you want to solve it,
God.
spin, or
Should we solve it before it might get passed over?
Sure. If you know it.
I think so.
Okay. Yep.
All I Need Is You.
Yes, by Donkeys. Okay,
Hooray,
last
hooray.
round. So far, now at the moment the scores. Oh, I just missed what the scores were, but I don't know who's winning. We'll find it at the end. Let's keep it. It's going to be a surprise. All right, Karen's.
Okay.
Karen's. It's up to you. I'll spin it.
One word. Okay.
Something in me told.
Someone's soldering. Okay, guess the letter. Karen's.
Something in me. Something in me say go with R.
Let's go with R.
Ooh. Okay, spin again or buy a vowel or solve it.
I have a guess. I have a guess what it could be.
Okay, if you get it.
Do you want me to try? Do you want me to try to solve?
We don't have much.
I think I know what it is. Well, if we have nothing to lose, let's see if we can solve it. I have a guess.
Okay. Yep.
Is it? Could it be Valkyrie?
Could it be Valkyrie? Okay, and guess who the winner is? Boomer!
Yay!
Oh, Boomer! I should have apostrophe.
Boomers came back.
Man, that end saved y'all life.
Yep.
That end saved y'all life.
As soon as I saw it, I was counting the letters and I was like VALK. Damn it.
Yeah. Okay. So that was our first wheel of K-pop, which we might do again because it actually worked. And it only took me half an hour to do and not 5 hours like that stupid eyes, lips, nose one I did last week. So I think we're gonna wrap it up. But what's happening in K-pop this week? Actually, by the time this is uploaded, it would have already happened. But any comebacks happening this week? Who are we getting excited about?
Well, ITZY comes out Friday.
Oh, ITZY, okay.
The OnOff repackage album.
Yeah,
next week.
ABC.
Oh, yes.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, the teaser.
Wait, have you seen the teaser? Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
No. I have
Yes,
seen it.
Woong is showing out again.
Go and watch it.
He's a bad boy. Okay. All right, so it's going to be an interesting week in K-pop.
In Hypen is coming out too.
Yeah, their teasers are amazing.
Oh, yes.
I've been
Their
seeing the
teasers
teasers
were
all over YouTube.
Given Taken is going to be one of my favorite songs of the year. It's amazing. I have that thing on repeat.
It's amazing.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I really
They're
love
great
Flicker
vocals.
too. Does everyone else love Flicker?
I love it.
Anyway.
Love it.
Yep.
Thank you all for being on the show. I know some of you got up really early and some of you are staying up very late. That's what happens when you have a show with bloody, how many different countries have we got? I think we've only got 5 today and 8 different time zones. But hey, we did it. Thanks so much to our guests, Christine, Dame, and Jaime. Hopefully we'll have you guys on the show another time.
Thank you for having me on.
No worries. Thank you to our regulars. And if you haven't already, after you've checked out this show, check out our Kingdom Debrief. We do that weekly, and we debrief and de-stress and talk about all the performances on the Kingdom Legendary War. Also keep an eye out for
Mullet Review.
Mullet Review.
Mullet Review.
Yes, that's my favourite show. My favourite show. So, any K-pop mullets, guys, we need your mullets. Send your mullets in to the roadtohagdom@gmail.com. Subject line mullet review, because we would love to review some of your mullets on the show. Okay, we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye. Become a broccoli.
One of my favorite songs, K-pop songs of all. Are you good? Just carry on. Everyone ready to go? There's no cats eating off your leg. No. Oh, Dame's frozen. Yep, frozen. He's an hour ahead of me in Atlanta, so it's frozen with a weird face. 10 a.m. there. Well, this is because you got me up early.
This is who's gonna survive to the last.
Oh yeah, one day we're gonna do a show on overrated groups. Yeah. Oh, that's a bit dangerous.
That'll get you canceled right there.
I might have to cut it. You're gonna edit it out. I'll put it in the bloopers really fast. So people at the end can see it. Carry on. This is the usual thing, is me yelling at the computer. Okay, just didn't want you to see what I've been like googling, because it might be weird. Okay. Now, Asian boys. Don't check my browser history. Shut up. It's not. I don't Google hot Asian boys anymore. I only hot Asian men. Now, starting, so no one talk or I'll get mad. Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to episode. Oh, hang on, you just fucking turned up. Hang on.
Hey, what's up, man?
We are talking about underrated groups this week. Who's not muted themselves? I'm going to smack you. Hang on. What's this? I'm going to tell you in a minute if I can just share the goddamn screen. Can you see a screen? What is it?
I see Frankie got 2 drinks over there. She's got 1 cup of water and then something that we can't see in a teacup.
No, I had coffee. That's coffee. It's coffee. It's morning now. I had to drink it with a straw because I was saying Irish coffee. I'm doing this teeth whitening thing, so you're not supposed to. It takes like a week. So you're not supposed to drink coffee, so I'm trying to suck coffee through a straw. We're just going to carry on without Lucy. But if Lucy pops in and out, you just have to ignore her like nothing's happening. Okay. I don't want you to write complaints in the comments. We don't give a shit. Right? James, we are cool. No one gives a shit about your feelings. I'm sorry. There's probably no one actually watched this part.